I think that the most important theological conversation, the most important theological project in the United States today is, on the one hand, it's interreligious dialogue, and on the other, ecumenism. I think the ecumenical project is well advanced, and there's an ease of conversation between Catholics and Lutherans and Baptists. And the next big thing, the next big project is a profound type of exchange between Christians and Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, certainly here in California, especially here in Silicon Valley. We have among our students, we have a good number of Sikhs and Buddhists and Hindus and Muslims. And their parents, I think the parents of these students are eager to send them here because they see this as a place where religion is respected, where faith is fostered, where a sort of respectful exchange takes place, where professors are allowed to profess their faith and encourage their students to do the same, and where there isn't proselytism, but there is a healthy exchange of what it is to believe and how it is to live out of one's beliefs. I think that this is going to become more and more the conversation that's going to have to preoccupy us, occupy us. And I think the theological community, as much as any other community, is going to have to deal with that. The dialogue with secular humanism, the dialogue with postmodernism, I think we've sort of exhausted that topic and we've gained from it what we can. But the next big conversation, and here I'm simply parroting Peter Berger, is the conversation with the other great world religions. And it comes back to the question of Christ, the unicity of Christ, the universality of the Christ event. Did Jesus die on the cross for all of humanity? Do the effects of grace then transcend the visible limits of the church? If this is true, if the Holy Spirit is active already in a prevenient way in other religious traditions, then as Christians come into contact with believers in other great world religions, how do we construct that dialogue? I'm not sure how we solve some of the most difficult questions in that dialogue. Does the good Buddhist, when she dies, and does she then meet Christ? I think yes. Is that the right answer? I don't know. But I think for two reasons. One, for us to appreciate again the powerful mystery that is the Christ event, we have to continue to ask the most difficult questions about the effects of the Christ event. Even in this time where we try to be quite open to and respectful of these other world religions, these other religious traditions. There's a second reason why I think we need this dialogue, and that is because on an international level there is obviously these days a great clash of cultures. There is this world of Islam, which is riven by many different forces, some of them quite peaceful and progressive, and others quite warlike and angry. And to understand what's going on in Islam, we also have to understand what the West has done in the Arab world and in the Islamic world over the last 150 years. Our relationship with the Jewish community, our relationship with the Hindu community, all of these different community relationships on the international stage, if we can do the type of work in our own society, if we have a multicultural society, if we have a respectful society, if we move beyond tolerance to true interest in the other, as other, we have the chance of constructing perhaps the kind of theological exchange that will allow us to move to common ground, to higher ground. Higher, not lower. Not the lowest common denominator. Not an easy abandonment of our own most cherished truths, but neither a hegemonic suppression of the truths of others as they express them, how they live them.